No second guessing yourself. And no talking about it. Okay, I have two things to say about that. First of all, don't talk about it to people who are going to, run you down, run the idea down, think you're crazy, blah, blah, blah. Just stop doing that. You don't need their approval. But the other side of that coin is stop talking about it and start doing something about it. We fritter away so much energy and so much of our determination talking about it. We talk about it long enough that our imagination and our brain thinks we've already done it.
I'm so glad you joined us today. That makes you a part of CSLDallas, and we love that our community continues to grow. And we also love to give great spiritual content. And a way that you can participate in our community is financially give to it. It's easy to do so. Go to CSLDallas.org and hit the give button. Or you can set up a text giving mechanism at 972-954-4404, a safe and secure way to send us money whenever you watch a great message like this. So thanks for giving, and buckle up, because here comes the spiritual content.
This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's just a girl and she's on fire.
She's just a girl and she's on fire. She's just a guy and he's on fire. She's just a community and it's on fire. Setting our prosperity ablaze, setting our life ablaze, setting the world ablaze in a good and beautiful way, the blaze and flame of love. And I want to acknowledge the way that people were received as they walked across the fire by my beloved Reverend Karen Fry. Thank you. And what an extraordinary experience. Reverend Dr. John Waterhouse, he said it's the most people that he's ever had at a firewalk. The most people he's ever had at the firewalk. But even more amazing, it's the largest percentage of the people in the room that walked the fire that he has ever had by a mile. He was blown away by you, totally blown away by your willingness to set your life on fire by burning away all of that stuff that we tend to carry around. And so we want to continue the conversation and ask ourselves, are we ready to light our prosperity fire? Are you ready to light your prosperity fire? All right, so yes, last week, or 2 weeks ago, Karen set the stage with our fabulous book, You Are a Badass at Making Money. So we all decided we were going to be badasses and kick the you-know-what out of our prosperity consciousness, kick it up. And last week we talked about building the fire, the way in which we build the fire in consciousness. And so we've got the fire laid, it's beautifully laid. We've decided that we're going to do this, and now we have to light it. We have to light it on fire. And how we do that is we do that with these just fabulous words. Decide, determination, and our favorite, discipline. Not so rockin' right now, is it? Oh, I don't know about that. So I've translated these words into choice, faith, and gratitude. Choice, faith, and gratitude is what we light our fire with. And it is an opportunity every time that we decide to build a mental equivalent, if we decide that we're going to, we understand that we have a new desire, or we want to grow our desire, or there's something that we want to do, right? We have to listen to what that is. We have to listen to what that is. We have to hear the press of spirit and life as it's seeking to explode into expression as us. But that's not enough, is it? We actually have to decide that where spirit is moving us is where we want to go. We have to align ourselves with that impress, and we actually have to make the decision to participate. People asked me last night, so are you going to walk? I said, I don't know, but I am going to participate. I'm going to participate. So I would like to acknowledge those people who were there last night and chose not to walk, chose to listen to their inner guidance, and chose to hold consciousness and cheer like mad for every person who stood at that fire. So if you were there and you chose not to walk, I'd like to acknowledge you as well. Please stand. Beautiful. Because, you know, where you want to go might not actually be where everybody else is going. And this is not about being in a line of lemmings. This is about every time we do something and we move forward, we do it because we've decided where we want to go. Now, in both this book and in The Science of Mind, we say this really interesting thing. It says you can't have everything, but you can have anything. You can't have everything. I mean, we like to say that, oh, you can have everything. The problem is we try to have everything all at once. And we want it all now. So we want to study for our PhD and be a CEO and stay at home and raise our family and go to school and travel and, have a buff body and go to the gym every day and eat everything that we want all of the time. Oh, yes, and meditate. You can have any of those things. You can have any of those things. But we do actually express in the space-time continuum. And what's the difference between trying to have everything and trying to have something? We choose. Deciding gives you and the universal law focus and direction. And I think this is just one of the most interesting things. Right? We teach in this philosophy that you are a choice. That it is the power of your choosing, the choosing of your thoughts, your words, your actions. You are responsible for those, and those will co-create with the universal law your life. And I can't tell you how often I hear people say one of two things. One is, I don't know what to choose. I don't know what I want, and I don't know what the best choice is. Actually, I hear a third thing, and that is, I don't want to limit my options. But, if we don't limit our options, do you see we're like that little person standing on the... That's like going up to the ticket counter and saying, I'd like a ticket, please. You're going into the travel agency, you sit down, and you say, could I have a ticket, please? Bus, train, or plane? East or west? North or south? Tropical, mountains? The ticket agent is not going to write you a ticket for that fabulous vacation unless you choose. Unless you decide that in this trip, this is what you're going to do. Not that in your next trip you can't go someplace else. Do you see? That's the point. And so we have this false idea that by actually going for something, we're somehow limiting our options. No, in fact, what we're doing is we're blazing the trail and we're setting the direction for the universal law to be able to move. Otherwise, it's like, could you make up your mind? Okay, no, wait, you said you were, I don't know. This is what the law's doing. Right? And there we stand. So one of the first thing about this now setting our mental equivalent that we've created and our belief that we live in an abundant universe and that we can, in fact, create a life that works for us and that we can create a world that works for everyone is that we have to choose that something that we are going to set on fire. that we are willing to give our time, energy, and attention to, that we are going to focus on. And of course, what we know, one of the primary things that we teach is that what you focus on grows. So here comes the second thing. I don't know. I can't decide. I don't know. Oh, what does the universe say? I guess you don't know. Okay, you're right. You don't know. You're right. And I think what often happens is that I don't know is actually a smoke screen for it scares me so much I'm not willing to say it out loud. I'm going to walk on fire. What? And so it can be a smoke screen for our unwillingness to actually step out and decide and claim, choose that thing that seems so big and scary. Now, and then the third thing I can see, I sometimes do it. I want to know, is this the best decision? Is this the right decision? Is this the best decision that's going to allow me to express all that God came here to be as me? And what are we really saying when we say that? Could I have an unconditional money-back guarantee that this is going to work out, that I'm going to be successful, and the result will be that I am happy? And unless I get that guarantee, I'm not doing it. Yes? So is this the best, or is this the right thing for us to do? Is a smoke screen for our masquerading? It's right, it's where we're thinking we're trying to decide, but actually it's just our fear that is masquerading as a desire for a guarantee. We want to be safe, we want to be secure, we want to be certain, we want to know it's going to work out. Well, some of us walked up to the fire and looked at it, blessed it, and said, yeah, not so much. Or we said, not today. Or we said, this isn't mine to do. Or whatever it is that we chose, right, to say. And some of us walked up there and walked back and walked up there and walked back and went for it. But we have to simply, at some point, decide. And we will know whether it's a decision that's in alignment with who we came here to be, that's in alignment with that new urge that's seeking to express itself as us, that thing that feels like it's so out there. We'll know whether this choice is getting us closer to that or further away. Right? And that's the good news, is that we can, in fact, keep deciding. We can keep choosing until we feel like we really are on that path. Now, well, Karen, I'm so grateful that you printed out my slides. It just doesn't seem to be all of them. So we'll make it up as we go along. How's that? I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that I got the slides I got. It's good. All right. So once we decide, right? Once we decide, this is where I personally annoy everybody that I know. Once we decide, we have to become doggedly determined, like a pit bull. No, really, that's what we said we were going to do. Remember that? We said we were going to do it a year ago? Oh, no, we said that we were going to do that 2 years ago. No, we're still on the path. No, we can't do that. No, we can't. No, because we said we were going to do this. Right? And how often do we start to waver? We wander. Oh, that looks good. Oh, squirrel. Oh, shiny object. Oh, wow, look at all that money. Oh, my God. I think shall I just pick it off the wall? Are we on our path? No, we're not. We're not going in the direction that we decided, right? So determination, and I love these two images. I love these two images. These are images that have spoken to me my whole life of determination. Flowers that simply find a little crack in the sidewalk, and by God, they're going to grow there whether you like it or not. You know, a weed is just a flower that's growing someplace you don't want it to grow. That's all a weed is. And that's the lone pine on 17 Mile Drive looking over the Pacific Ocean, battered by the wind and the waves, and there it stands. And when I put these slides into the slideshow, I thought, wow, both of them are alone, aren't they? Yeah, and you know why that is? It's because it's your life, not anybody else's life. It is, in fact, your life. And there are going to be people who are going to say, you're going to do what? Are you crazy? What made you think you could do that? Why are you doing that? Right? And they're going to continue to remind you about how it is that you're not good enough, you're not capable, whatever the roadblocks are. And so there is something right here, because they appear to be alone, but how is this flower and this tree not alone? Determination. But how are they not alone? They're embedded in the earth, right? They're nourished. Their roots are nourished by the earth, the sun, and the rain. They are no more alone than you and I are alone in our dreams and desires, because we have all of life that we are sourced from. We have our roots in the infinite power and presence of life itself. The abundance of life and the good of life is forever seeking to shower itself upon us. Yay, thank you.
So the universe provides.
Yay, thank you. And so do you see, while it appears on the outside that we're alone, when we make this boom, stake in the ground declaration, we're going to decide to bust through and finally be prosperous in a way that we've never been before, build a business like we've never done before, create a dream out in the mountains like we've never done before, right? And it feels like, oh, maybe I'm all alone out here. No, we have everything in the universe behind us, including that universal power that is the law that says, it's done unto you as you believe. The law of cause and effect that says, if you will hold that choice and be determined about it, the entire universe will rally around in support, just as this flower and this tree are totally supported by the ecosystem in which they live. And that is what allows us to face the challenges along the way, the storms, the droughts, the ups and downs, the time that somebody's car drives right over that little piece of concrete where that little flower is blooming, right? Because stuff happens. Stuff happens, life happens, hurricanes come, hurricanes go, right? Stuff happens. Life is unfolding, and it's not only always unfolding in a long uphill climb to nirvana. Right? And so our determination is what moves us through the challenges, through the opportunities that come, and ultimately we have the opportunity to base our life on faith. Because we can't always see the source that we're rooted in. We can't always see with our physical human eyes how completely, abundantly supported and supplied we are. And so in the science of mind, faith is defined this way. Faith is a mental conviction so completely embodied that the mind can no longer deny it. Faith is a mental conviction so completely embodied, right? Felt, lived, experienced, not just, oh, I think I'm going to go do such and such. Faith is a mental conviction so completely embodied that the mind can no longer deny it. Faith is complete when it is both a conscious and subjective acceptance, right? That means that we believe it. We're not just saying it, we believe it. Faith means a belief in the presence of an invisible principle in law which directly and specifically responds to us. We have made the choice. We've said, that's where I'm going. We've picked the plane. We've picked the train. We've decided which direction we're going in. We've decided what it is we're going to manifest. And we understand that there is this universal law into which we are rooted, from which we are sourced, whether we can see it or not. And of course, how we see it is by trusting it. And every time that we trust it, we see how it works. And our faith grows. And our faith grows. And our faith grows. And so our determination is bolstered by our willingness to stand in this deep and profound faith, or trust, as I like to say. Now, there's two things that are needed for us to really move into this place of faith, to trust this universal presence. And they are, we have to face our fears that are lying to us, and we have to find the passion that's compelling us. Because, I think I'm going to manifest a new business is probably not going to do it. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, I'm choosing to manifest a new business. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, not so much, right? Doggedly determined, utterly committed, no matter how many times the permits are, no, you can't do it that way, you got to go rewrite the plan, right? We know all about that. We've been there, done that with this whole space. But what causes us to move through our fear is that we find our passion, right? That's what sets it ablaze, the passion. And that's that inner urge. That's the universe as you wanting to be something, do something. And it could be as simple as bringing more love into your office. Could be as beautiful as finding a new way to be in relationship with your family. It could be as big as building a multi-billion-dollar business or healing the planet. Do you see? It's your passion. It's your passion. It's the one that resonates, that is in alignment with who you are. But you can have that passion all you want if you allow your fear to keep telling you can't do it. I'm passionate about this. No, you can't do it. Who do you think you are, right? So we have to face those fears, and we have to walk through them, around them, over them, whatever it is that we need to do to see how they are not the truth. Our fear is simply our withhold. It's our withhold from life. It's our withhold, our unwillingness to let our light shine so bright and so big that we just burst out of our shell. It's our stories about how it hasn't worked in the past, or how we're not supported, or whatever it is. And it's all of our beliefs and limitation, right? Those are all the ways in which our fear is masquerading. It's just fear. That's all it is. And so we find our passion to walk through the fear. Now, for me, I really didn't know yesterday whether or not I was going to walk. Karen had walked. She was all excited. She was all excited about seeing you guys walking. I think she had a complete belief that I was going to walk too. And I was like, oh, yeah, fire's my element. Come on, I'm an Aries with a Leo rising. I'm like all about fire, right? I have more fire this morning, right? Did you see? And so I thought, oh, piece of cake. Yeah, piece of cake. Plus I'll show them how it's done. Which you knew right there. That was the clue, wasn't it? Oh. And I walked up to that fire, and I saw my beloved across the way, and I thought, wow, this is not mine to do. I don't know if that's forever or just this particular walk, but it was so clear to me, this is just not mine to do. It's not mine to walk. And Karen and I talked about, we would maybe alternate catching people. We would, be at the other end. And I made my way around to the other side. And, Karen was there, and John would help every once in a while. And she was like so in her element. I realized that wasn't mine to do either. And then I watched. And I found my passion, which is to help you walk across the fire. You see, that's what's mine to do. That's what we have to find, each one of us. My passion is in your greatness. My passion is in your light. My passion is for you to stand there and walk or not as you choose. For you to fly or not as you choose. For you to build the prosperity or the business or the home or the whatever it is as You choose. Because as you choose is the universe choosing as you. That deepest desire is spirit showing up as you. And when you choose that, you are choosing yourself and the divine at the same time. Actually, you're just divinity saying yes in that moment, right? Finding our passion, facing our fear. I had a moment, well, what do you think Karen will think if I don't walk? What do you think the community will think if I don't walk? Right? Split seconds of moments. But it wasn't, do you see it? When we're listening and paying attention and deciding what's innermost true, those things come and go. There was no place for them to land and nowhere for them to take me. Does that make sense? Right? And I watched some of you just walked right up in the fire and you were like, boom. I'm walking. Right? Yeah. That's the determination to be who we are and to let our light shine. And finally, this oh so lovely word, discipline. And I've spent a long time making friends with this word, discipline. You know, for me, discipline usually meant punishment when I was a child, and then it meant like this, I don't know, then I got all spiritual, and it meant like I was supposed to meditate 5 hours a day, and I couldn't figure out how to do that and feed my son at the same time. You know, it was like, I don't really get this whole discipline thing until I really, really understood that primarily, fundamentally, this is the discipline of consciousness. This is the discipline of consciousness. It is, as Mary Baker Eddy says, standing at the portals of my mind and choosing what goes in and what comes out. And as Dr. John said, our feelings are no more facts than our thoughts. They simply show us where our fear lives. That's all they do. And so the discipline is in paying attention, being absolutely present in that moment. This is not mine to do. Stepping away, watching, being, listening, being present, absolutely willing to decide, that's mine to do. Do you see? That's the discipline of our consciousness and not allowing ourselves to get pulled off into the drama and the what ifs and the, all the stories and the withholds that we have. So the discipline begins with no excuses. You could write these down. These would be worth writing down. No excuses. No complaining. No whining, another way of saying it. No excuses, no complaining. Excuses and complaining fritter away your passion and your determination. They're all the ways in which you undercut yourself. Well, because of this. Well, it's not. I didn't really. No excuses, no complaining, and no second guessing yourself. Stepping back from the fire and no second guessing yourself. Maybe I should walk. Maybe I should. No. Do you see? No second guessing yourself, and no talking about it. Okay, I have two things to say about that. First of all, don't talk about it to people who are going to, run you down, run the idea down, think you're crazy, blah, blah, blah. Just stop doing that. You don't need their approval. But the other side of that coin is stop talking about it and start doing something about it. We fritter away so much energy and so much of our determination talking about it. We talk about it long enough that our imagination and our brain thinks we've already done it. And so we don't. So sometimes we actually have to pent up that energy. Like, no, I'm going to talk about it. And then where does it have to come out? In action. That's the only place it can come out. So just stop. Stop it. Okay. Oh, we're getting them a second time. Apparently they're really important. Okay. I thought we were going to get them a third time. No, we're getting the new list. So if we're not going to do that, what are we going to do? Well, the discipline is listen. Listen. Listen to heart and mind and not to the cell phone. Don't listen to the cell phone. Listen. Or maybe it's a message from God. Who knows? Maybe we should listen. And that's true. Sometimes the message comes from, for me, it's sometimes a phrase in a song, or just that one really annoying thing that somebody will say to me, and I just, can't believe you just said that and called me out. Right? But to listen, and to listen to that inner urge, that inner push, to speak in alignment with our choice and our determination. I'm going to build this new business. We don't go speaking over here about how hard it is and how there aren't any loans and how nobody thinks it's a good idea. Do you see? Our speaking has to be in alignment with our decision and our determination, to have the discipline only to speak about the vision, where we're going, what we're doing, and really holding true to that through the challenges, through the fear. And to act. We actually have to put the pedal to the metal. You have to do our spiritual work, and then you have to move your feet. The action has to be in alignment. It has to be in alignment. I'm going to build a new business, and I'm going to do all this stuff. Oh, I'm going to the bank thinking I could maybe have a loan. Right? Our actions then have to be in alignment because we know what our source is. We've decided what we're going to choose. We have the determination to go for it. We're trusting in that universal power and presence. And so we want our actions to come from that place of confidence. Of course, you're going to have challenges. It's bigger than anything you've ever wanted to do before. So you have to learn and grow. You have to learn new skills. You're going to have to face your fear. You're going to have to get over your fear, which is going to be uncomfortable as all get out. So, do you want to move forward or do you want to stay where you are? Right? Do we want to set our prosperity on blaze? Do we want to set our lives on fire? And finally, that, as I'm saying, all of these in alignment with the truth of who we are, with the truth of life, the truth of how utterly supported we are. And the last, if you can't do these, I'm going to give you the surefire discipline. Money back guarantee. This will actually ensure your success and happiness. Are you ready? The most important discipline there is. We had a beautiful example of it this morning in our Science of Mind class. Gratitude. Gratitude. I was so overwhelmed last night by how everybody, whether people were walking or not walking, were cheering on each person, no matter what they were doing, walking or not walking. And the gratitude of being in that group together, of feeling supported by the group, and that outpouring of cheerful expectancy, that is the gratitude. And so in the middle of the challenges and in the middle of the fear, to be grateful we have the vision, grateful we have the passion, grateful we made the decision, grateful we have the determination, grateful we have the trust, grateful that we're learning and growing, grateful that things do actually work out. Look, it worked out there and there and there. Okay, it didn't work out okay there, but look, I learned and I grew. Grateful, 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 grateful. When we're in gratitude, our thinking, our speaking, and our being are in alignment with the infinite power and presence. And I'll tell you that gratitude makes you a badass. Gratitude makes you a badass. And you walk on fire. And you support people to walk on fire. And you choose your life and your passion. So choose faith or trust and gratitude. These set your prosperity on fire. Let's set it ablaze together. So let us pray. I'd like you to stand up. Are you ready? Repeat after me. I set my prosperity on fire.
I set my prosperity on fire.
I choose my life.
I choose my life.
I trust in the law.
I trust in the law.
I am grateful for the love.
I am grateful for the love.
My life